Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. We're going to start off this Wayback Wednesday with a look at the G1 Combaticons. I have them here in their original packaging. Now these are knockoff slash counterfeits of the originals. But you see the packaging still looks good. So let's take a look at each member here. And yes, I am using jam jars to hold these guys up. Work with what you got. We'll do a little zoom in here. Take a look at Brawl. Free inside, reflective iron-on patch. See, he's got accessories there. C1, collect all 5 Combaticons. Now, when I picked these guys up, I knew I was going to get knockoffs because the pictures showed the robots with no rub sign, which is a clear indication that you're going to get a knockoff counterfeit. But when I got these guys out of the box, you can see, oh, they've got the rub signs on there. Did I maybe get, a legitimate copy of a reissue? Maybe I had some, overstock. But you can see here, the word Combaticon is actually misspelled. We got a typo here. At the end it says Combaticon, and that was not on the original release. And to my knowledge, there wasn't any additional releases that came out with those typos. I could be wrong, but to me that's a clear indication that we've got a knockoff here. At the back, you have a listing of the whole team here. So if you got one of these guys, you can bug mom and dad to get the rest of the crew so you can form Bruticus. And you can get half a robot point here. And back in the day, you could trade them in for stuff. You've got a listing here of everything that's inside the box. Transformation steps. And what's really nice here, you have a guide on where to put each of the stickers. Proof of authenticity is what I talk about here, about the rub sign. I have Brawl's bio here, if you'd like to read it. And his tech specs. Some of the transformers would come with a little decoder, so you can put it over here and read each of the tech specs. Now this particular copy, the lines here are pretty clear, so really you don't need the decoder here. And I remember, when I was a kid, I would stare at the back of the box, especially these bios, on the drive home from the toy store. I love that. I'll put Brawl back here. And let's take a look at our next Limbot, Swindle. Oh, same packaging here. Same typo. Back of the box. Same setup. You got Swindle's bio right there. And tech specs. So here we got Blast Off, C3, instructions, your bio, tech specs. And our final Limbot, Vortex, number C4, instructions, Vortex's bio, and tech specs right there for you. Final look at their leader, Onslaught. Now Onslaught's bigger, like the other Scramble City combiners. They had a large robot that formed the center torso. So we got him here on the front. Basic transformation pictures up at the top. Pictures at the bottom and the sides. On the back, got this nice G1 style artwork. Metroplex. Front and center. Onslaught's bio. And tech specs. And he was a big bot, so he was with 2 whole robot points. One thing to notice on my copy here, they managed to spell Combaticon right on the front, but on the back, see the proof of purchase here is actually proving of purchase, so they made an error there on the barcode, so that tells you this is not legitimate. But see the team there, and I just want to say I don't collect the sealed retro Transformers or any sort of retro toys, but seeing the whole team arrayed like this, I can see the appeal. It looks really nice. But let's go take a look at each bot. Okay, we're going to take a look at Brawl here. Before we examine Brawl himself, I'm going to go through the items that came in his package. So we have this fold-out instruction sheet, which is for the combine mode. Now this sheet only goes through one type of configuration for the limb bots. Brawl and the other bots can form either arms or legs. This one, for example, for Brawl only shows him in his leg mode, but I'll go through the arm mode as well. You get Brawl's sticker sheet. Get this twin sonic cannon. And you get Brawl's electron gun. Take a closer look at Brawl himself. Mostly green tank. Some gray on the treads, black cannon. As far as detail goes, got detail on the tracks, a little bit on the top. For Brawl, as well as most of the G1 models, the stickers do a lot of legwork for the detail. Brawl's turret does spin all the way around very freely. You can also pop up the turret if you want. This is to get out of the way for transformation, but you can do that. As well, Brawl's accessories are all designed to store onto his model. So for the twin sonic cannon, you've got 2 posts going to the ports on his back. Just plug that in there like that. The electron gun can store as well. Can plug into either one of these ports on the front. My copy, these are very, very snug. Push them in all the way, I think they're going to snap off. But you can have Brawl like that. All nice and armed up. To get Brawl into his robot mode, transformation is very, very simple. We're just going to pull up the turret to get it out of the way. This back section here, we're just going to pull. It's going to split apart slightly, just like that. I'm going to swing each of these back portions out. This will form Brawl's legs. Then the whole front section of the tank, we're just going to hinge forward. Just like that. And then the sides here are his arms, so you can just swing them down and put them wherever you like. The turret, you can swing it around to wherever you want as per the instructions. It sits up like that. The back of my packaging tells you to push in this turret. On my copy, at least, there is no mechanism to push this in. So don't fiddle around with that. You're going to break it off. But there's Brawl. And like a lot of the G1 toys, there's not too much to them. You can move the arms up and down a little bit. Hinge legs like that. You got your basic, typical goofy looking G1 robot. If you want to, you can give him his electron gun. You can put in any one of his fists. Very, very tight on mine. So you can have him carrying that around if you like. As far as combined mode, we'll start off with the arm, since that's not in the instructions. So to get him into arm mode, just flip these arms back up. Rotate this back into its home position. As far as the legs go, you've got a couple of choices. You can leave the legs extended like this, or you can hinge them back up. There are ports on either side there. I prefer to leave this extended, as it gives it a little bit of a longer arm. It looks better, but you can certainly flip those in if you'd like to have a shorter look. For the turret, you can just collapse that and angle that however you want. And finally, on Brawl's underside, there is a post here that we're going to want to flip out. And that's going to plug in to Onslaught to form the arm. To go into leg mode, flip that post back up. Bring this front section back down. Flip the legs up like that. Rotate the turret up. And in this configuration, Brawl's head will serve as the post to go into Onslaught. We'll be sticking the feet down at the bottom. Next up, we have Swindle. Take a quick look at the contents of his package. So he comes with the same instruction booklet as Brawl. Sticker sheet for Swindle, which is in the completely incorrect colors. We have Swindle's big scatter blaster. And Swindle's gyro gun. Take a closer look at Swindle himself. He's a khaki Jeep with black accents. Got some pretty nice molding here for the seats, windshield, some headlights, rub sign. Again, stickers will be providing a lot of detail here. You can put both of his guns onto him in Jeep mode. The two weapons here will combine together. You take the post from the gyro gun and plug it into the scatter blaster here. And you can have that double weapon here. Then this will just plug in to this port on top of Swindle, like so. You have Swindle all armed up. To put Swindle into robot mode, very simple transformation. I'm going to take the windshield and push it down like that. The front of the Jeep, we're going to hinge back like so. And grab the back of the Jeep, and we're just going to pull it out. So it'll extend like that. Flip out each leg. Then to form his arms, we're going to grab the bottom of the side pieces here and pull them straight out. And then you can angle that however you want. We've got Swindle in his robot mode. And, you know, he's a goofy looking robot. And he's a G1 toy. They don't have too much to them. Their alt modes are almost universally better than the robot modes. You can move his arms up and down and hinge his little legs like so. You can give him his gyro gun like so. For combined mode, I'm going to put him into the arm configuration since the instructions only tell you how to put it in the leg configuration. So we're going to take these arms and we're going to push them back to where they were. You can leave the legs as is. For the head, we're going to want to bring this whole piece down. Now use caution when you're doing this movement, especially if it's brand new, because it tends to be very tight. And what can happen, and what has happened on the original toys of many of these type of combiners, is that the force you're putting here will either cause stress on this headpiece here and cause the head to snap off, or where the pin is down at the bottom, the plastic can actually crack. You can see a lot of Transformers graveyards on eBay and other sites have lots of broken posts here and at the head. So if you find yours is tight, what you can do is get like a thin screwdriver, push it all the way down to help give you some extra leverage to pull that piece down, or put a tiny dab of silicone lubricant, and that'll help loosen that up. But you just bring that piece down like that. Then you can bring the front section of the Jeep up like that. And there you have an arm for either side. And the fist will just go in at the bottom. To get him into his leg mode, we're going to bring this front section all the way back to where it was in robot mode. Flip the head back up. For the legs, we're going to want to leave them flipped out like this, and we're just going to push it back up. And foot will go on the bottom. This piece will go into Onslaught to form a leg for Bruticus. Here we have Blastoff. And we'll take a look at the contents of his package. Again, same instruction sheet as the other two Combaticons. Blastoff's stickers. And he comes with 2 sonic cannons and his ionic blaster. Closer look at Blastoff himself. He is a brown and black shuttle modeled after the NASA space shuttle. We got a rub sign, purple windshield, some wheels at the bottom, thrusters at the back. Not a whole lot to them, but it's a nice looking figure. Now the sonic cannons are designed to store on him. Each one will plug in to the thrusters on the back via this post here. Just take one, plug it in, take the other one, plug it in there. So you can have him with some extra weaponry. The ionic blaster is designed to store anywhere, but this little post which is for robot mode, will fit into the smaller thruster here. It doesn't look really pretty, but if you're worried about, you know, losing it, you can just store it on the back there like that. Now to go into robot mode, we'll just take all the accessories off. And like the other toys, the transformation is pretty simple. So what we're going to do is, there's two parts we're going to extend. The back extends out, and the front as well. Extend out like that. Tail fin, you can fold down to either side. The wings are going to pull up like that. The front section we're just going to split apart and then hinge it down to expose the head. I'm going to rotate the arms, bring them down, and then the nose cones will just rotate up to expose holes for the fists. And again, another very simplistic G1 robot. Not too much to him. The only thing you can really move is the arms on him. You can spin them around here, move it up and down to the shoulder, and rotate the hand. Everything else is stationary. I can give him his ionic blaster. You can plug it into either hand, like so. For combine mode, the instructions just show you how to turn it into an arm, so we'll start with leg mode. So we'll rotate these nose cone pieces in like that. Take the legs, collapse them back up, and just drop the arms to the side like that. And that's your leg mode. So the head will serve as a post to go into Onslaught, and foot piece down at the bottom there. Arm mode, we're going to take this part, bring it up, and we're going to put it right back into space shuttle mode. So we'll bring these pieces back together and collapse this in. Take the back half and extend that out. We'll flip the wing pieces down, but leave the tail fin collapsed. Then we're going to take this post here and just bring it down. This comes out really easy on mine. And then that's the arm mode. So this will go into Onslaught right here, and your hand will plug in down there. And of course you could use it on either side. And for our last Limbot, we have Vortex. So a quick peek at the contents of his package. Instruction sheet. Vortex's stickers. He has 2 side-mounted cannons and a semi-automatic glue gun. Closer look at Vortex himself. He is a gray helicopter with blue and black accents, some purple on the bottom, some wheels, tail rotor spins nice and freely, as does the main rotor. That's quite nice. All of his weapons can store on the helicopter. The side cannons will plug into these posts on the tail section, right into these ports here. Just plug that in. That. The glue gun is going to plug into this slot here. So this section right here will go right in there. That's a little hard to get it in. It's fighting me right now. There you go. So you can have Vortex all armed up for combat. And for robot mode, we're just going to take the weapons off, put them to the side. We're going to take the back section and the front section. We're going to extend them both out, like that. We're going to flip front section out like this to make Vortex's legs. Tail section we're going to split in half and bring down to reveal the head. Rotate them, bring the tail sections down, and just angle the arms however you want. There you have Vortex's robot mode. And not too much to him. You can move the arms around, and you can do a shoulder shrug, and that's it. Unlike the other bots, he doesn't have any posts in his hand. So for his glue gun, there's only one arm you can put it in, which is his right arm here, because it has a post. The other arm does not. So what you're going to do is you're going to take glue gun here, and you want the smaller port here. If you line that up, you can just plug that in. That's how he holds the glue gun. So desire. Combine mode, we'll take this off. The instructions show you how to turn him into an arm, so we'll do leg mode first. So we'll keep his legs in this orientation. We're just going to collapse the legs in, like that. And his arms we're just going to bring down to the side, like so. And that's your leg mode. So his head will serve as the post to go into Onslaught, and Bruticus's foot will plug into port on the bottom there. To get into arm mode, we're going to bring the tail section back up. And we're going to plug everything back together. Like that, you can bring the tail up and collapse this down to hide the head. The feet are going to extend out. Get it to extend now. There we go. Extend out like that. If you want to, you can rotate this around like that. Kind of get the blades out of the way. Then finally, this blue post here, we're going to flip down, just like that. So there you have an arm for Bruticus, so you can plug in to either side of Onslaught. And you got ports on the bottom here to put Bruticus's hand. Finally, we're going to look at the leader of the Combaticons, Onslaught. So as for the contents of his box, he's got quite a lot, actually. He has a full instruction booklet, which contains his transformation steps, as well as a bigger look at the combine mode. So you've got that. We've got 2 sticker sheets for Onslaught. Again, his colors aren't right. You should not be having a red Decepticon symbol, but what are you going to do? Decoder. You have this double cannon, which is listed as a twin missile launcher in the instructions. Onslaught's sonic stun gun. Onslaught's chest piece. We've got a ramp. And we also have all of the combined mode pieces. Bruticus's chest plate. Have 2 feet. 2 fists. And we have Bruticus's head. Now, before we take a good look at Onslaught himself, there's something I want to point out here on my copy. So he's packaged in the box like this. Looks pretty good. So imagine my profound disappointment when I turned him around and saw he's missing a wheel in the front. You got to be kidding me. But despite that, he's actually balanced pretty good. He doesn't lean to one side and actually does not inhibit his rolling at all, which is nice. Just, man, take a look at that. Yeah, you got to be kidding me. I did contact the seller. They said they'd send me a replacement wheel, so if that ever comes, I might post a short showing you how to install that. But thought I'd point that out first because it'll become glaringly obvious as we take a look at them. But aside from that, Onslaught is a mostly dark blue military transport truck. It's got some olive green, black camo pattern on the cab. The front here, the grill, this becomes the fists. Look at the top. Bottom, we got some silver for Onslaught's chest. The missile launchers can store on here. So we can take these 2 posts at the bottom, and it'll plug into these 2 large ports here. I'll just line that up, push it in, have it sitting like that. And if you want, you can angle this all the way up and have a more dynamic shot like that. And to get Onslaught into his robot mode, take this back section with the wheels, just bring it up here, and these 2 posts will go in these little holes right here. Grab the back section, extend it out, split the legs apart, and straighten them out as best you can. Split the cab apart to reveal the head, bring the arms down. On each arm, we have this little slider here that you can use to reveal the fist. You're going to have to use your hands to get this out the rest of the way. Same thing on the other side. This one does not want to come out. There we go. Bring in the chest piece. So this post will go into this hole on Onslaught's chest. Like so. Then you can spin him around, bring in his missile launchers, put him on his back. You can collapse this down like here. This will prevent this from rattling around too much. Just plug it back in the same place so it was in truck mode. There you got Onslaught. He's big and boxy. As far as articulation, his head does spin around all the way, which is nice. You can spin his arms around, bring him in and out. You can have a little shoulder crunch there. He's a little wobbly, but it's okay. You can give him his sonic stun gun. Plug it into his fist like that. His arms are a little bit loose when you bring them up. So there's a certain point where you just won't hold it straight. But it's okay. get him into his base mode. Let's pull this piece off here, set to the side, get rid of the chest piece, push his fists back in. For the legs, what we're going to do is we're going to hinge it out like this, bring the leg down here, and we're going to push it up just like that. Same thing on the other side. Now we'll take these back wheels, we'll flip them back out. Just make sure the arms come down like so. And they're not going to really snap into there anywhere. They're just a little bit loose. Just kind of sit down like that. Next you can bring in the ramp piece. And it has this little tab here. And that's going to go into this slot right there. Just line that up. Plug it in. Last part of the base configuration is to bring the sonic cannon back. You can have that angled however you want. And the way it's supposed to go in the instructions is this cutaway here will just rest over Onslaught's head. There's no real spot for it to plug into. It just kind of sits there. Alternatively, you could put it right back here if you want, but as per the instructions, you just want it to sit down just like that. And that's Onslaught's base mode. So you can, do things like have your Combaticons or other Transformers drive down there. This is mostly on its wheels, so this could be another kind of rolling artillery piece. Of course, other Transformers from other lines will fit on there. The Siege/Earthrise Micromasters actually scale pretty well. So I've got one of them here. And I'd say that fits. And to get Onslaught into his combined mode, come here, take off the missile launchers, get rid of the ramp. We're going to take the arms, I'm just going to bring them sitting like that. Both sides. Mine's a little loose, it's going to flop around, but when it's sitting like that. And these are the connector ports for the arms right there. And for the legs, all we're going to do is take these wheel pieces here, and just flip them up like that. And that exposes the connector pieces for the legs. You have Onslaught's combined mode. And before we get to combined mode, here is a shot of the whole Combaticon crew in their robot mode and in their alt modes. Finally, we're going to get Bruticus formed up here. So we'll start with the legs. And like I said before, these limbots, you can turn these into any arm or leg that you want and go with the official configuration from the cartoon. So we'll start off with Brawl. And we are going to grab the left foot piece here and use this post. I'm going to plug it in to this port right there. Plug that in like that. And then Brawl's head. Just going to plug in right here. Just line that up. Push it in. It's going to look like that. Complete the legs. We'll grab Swindle. We'll grab the right foot. Same thing. We're going to plug the post right into here. Just like that. And we'll have Swindle facing forward like this. And plug him in like so. The arms, grab blast off and right fist. Plug this in. You can use any one of these larger thruster ports. With the fist, and this post will go right into the square hole here. Just line that up and push it in like so. Last arm, we'll grab Vortex and our other fist. Same thing, plug it into the bottom and plug the post into the arm port up here. Just like that. We'll grab Bruticus's chest plate. This post is going to go into the same hole that Onslaught's chest piece went into. And then there's this little clip here that's going to have a slight friction hold underneath here on the crotch plate. So when you push in the peg on the chest, push it on the bottom, and you'll hear a little snap. And that secures that in place. And lastly, we have Bruticus's head, and that is just going to snap in on top of Onslaught's head, like so. Just like that. And if you wish, you can give Onslaught's sonic stun gun to Bruticus. You can hold it in either fist. Oh, there you have the full combiner. I don't have any of the stickers on them. Again, the stickers that came with these knockoffs were not the right colors for me. You can get repro labels, which are facsimiles of the originals, which I might do at some point in the future. But I think it looks pretty good without the stickers. As far as movement here, we've got the same head articulation as on Onslaught, so you can move Bruce's head all the way around. For the arms, we'll rotate. Well, again, if you have loose shoulders like on mine, you're going to have to hold the shoulders in place to make use of this. And I guess not too much at the legs because this is all in place. You can extend this out. It might affect the stability a bit. But on that, he just kind of lumbers up, snaps his chest piece off. You can get it back on there. There's Bruticus. Some final thoughts on Bruticus and the Combaticons. Design-wise, their vehicle modes look really good. Their robot modes are a little bit goofy. G1 Transformers definitely had their robot modes make concessions to have good-looking alt modes. The Scramble City gimmick, where you can swap arms and legs between this team and the other Scramble City teams, is really clever. I like it. Transformation-wise, it's a simple transformation, so small kids can do it no problem. But it's still fun to switch these guys around between their different modes. Playability, you've got that extra playability from Onslaught's base mode, which can be pretty fun. Taking a bunch of smaller robots and making a great big robot out of it is always going to be fun. One thing that can inhibit play is got lots of loose accessories, especially all the combined mode pieces that don't store anywhere. So those are going to go missing on day one. So I suggest if you have this for yourself or your kids, try to have a dedicated bag or a little box to store them in. Durability-wise, overall, each of the robots is pretty sturdy. The main things I would worry about kid breaking them is the combiner pegs. If they're twisted or have too much force put on them, they could snap off. As well on my copy at least, some of the weapon posts are a little bit too tight. Those get stuck in there and they could snap off. But overall, I think it's a solid team. The combiner looks really good. Even though it's cut loose in a few spots, it's still, I'd say it's still fun to play with. The kids Kids still like it, even though it's almost 40-year-old toy at this point. I got this copy of my team on eBay. I know AliExpress also sells a whole bunch of G1 knockoffs. If you can get original, best bet is eBay. Sometimes you can get decently priced used ones. If you're looking for fresh and packaged, you'll be paying a pretty penny. So knockoff might be more in your price range. But that's all I have to say about that. So thanks for watching. I'll probably be doing some more G1 reviews in the future. So I hope to see you next time.